Namaste once again, everybody, to a foundational yoga class, and I am Aphinya. Thank you so much for joining me for today, Sunday, September something something. This is not good. Anyway, I put the title of the class, if some of you read, it's the action about our feet and hands, and I would love to take a little time uh, lecture and give you that information a little bit, because foundation is everything when it's come to, I don't want to say like when you're building buildings, houses, and even poses, you don't want to have improper setup for your foundation. And most of the times when it's come to a yoga practice, they are your feet and they're your hands. I'm going to give you a scenario to help you to make sense of why these actions are essential. I have 5 brothers, and our household is full of kicking and punching and kung fu and taekwondo, every day. My brother really love to, show off their strength when they watch this kung fu movie. They have that scene that when a guy just put the hand in the hip and they just like tightening up their core muscles, and people go in and punch them, and that person doesn't seem to get hurt. When we engage, like we should engage our hands and feet somewhat like that, is to firm up those muscles. Because when the force go into that muscle, which is when it's come to the yoga practice, is our body weight. Like when we put our body weight, when we put the force into hands and feet, and when they are firming up, they will be protected and they will be strong. If you are not engaging them and you just put the force into them, imagine that guy that doesn't tense their core, anybody can punch that person and that person will go down to the fall. They will fall down and get hurt very quickly. Make sense? Now, it's easier to engage your hands, and that will help you to also activate some muscles of your forearms, which is we need it. And we use our fingers all the time, so it's so easy to do that. I want you to kind of work with me on these. When your hands are on the floor and your palm is go flat like that, it's necessary that you spread your finger somewhat and you crawl the finger like a tiger crawl to the ground. And when you do that action, you don't overdo it, you don't underdo it, and I know it's really confusing. And some of the poses you have to do more than other, because it depends on how much force or how much weight it carry in that moment. So you grab the hands down, like you crawl the floor with your finger pads, and you have to keep specifically 4 corners of your palms to the ground. So you don't want, the tendency is right at the base of the index finger will be lifted, like your hand is just turning open slightly. I see that a lot, but you don't want that. You want to crawl them firmly to the floor, 4 corners, and crawl with your finger pads. The other thing that you need to be mindful of, that you don't want your palm to turn in so severely. You can see the wrist crease of your wrist. If you can make it parallel to the edge, like the front edge of the mat or whatever edge of the mat you're facing, and make it parallel, you're pretty much safe. And of course, like our arms, when it's open, at least it has to be shoulder width apart, or you can keep on opening it wider. Why is that? Because some of us, the muscles right here, especially a guy, you can see them much more. The guy that lift weight, you can see these muscles are bulky easier. And the more bulky they are, the more the muscles are formed, the more space that muscle need in order to be able to move. Okay, shoulder width apart or wider. How wide, that it depends on your body. Wrist crease parallel to the front edge of the mat. Spread your finger and crawl all four finger pad and four corners of your palms. Now, when it comes to the feet, are a little bit more tricky. You actually pretty much do the same action you want to try. If you want to spread your toes like your fingers, and this takes years to learn. Why is that? Because we don't spread our toes regularly. Can you give it a try? And when you're spreading, I want you to also kind of press your big toe and your pinky toe forward. While we are sitting. Right. So what's happening is our big toes and our little toes are going to move forward away from the three middle fingers. So they are different in a way. So when they're on the floor, right, your big toes and your little toes are going to be on the ground more than the rest of the toes. The three of them in the middle are going to actually lift off from the floor slightly. Yep, I know. And when this action happens, that's when you actually able to engage some muscles on your calf, on your chin part of the leg and on the thighs part of the leg. And then when they're firm and we move them, now we protect them. A lot, isn't it? Anyway, keep that in mind. And one class will not give you the understanding of the action. You just have to do it over and over and over again until your body can understand that. So don't get too stressed out about it, okay? Let's start the class. You close your eyes. You relax your arms down by your thighs, palm facing up, and you breathe deeply in and out through your nose. You feel your body expand and soften according to the rhythm of your breathing. You feel that the knowledge that you try to understand in your brain is actually travel downward into your body. Remember, you have to be whole in most situations. You don't leave anything out. So learn wholly. Learn with the mind, learn with the heart, learn with the body. Learn with respect. Learn with humbleness. Learn with the trust. And remember that the key to embrace any new behavior what it takes is the action and the consistency of that action. Draw your hands together right in front of your heart. And let's chant Om 3 times together, please. Inhale deeply. Exhale fully. And another deep inhale, please. And you bow your head down to your heart. Release your hands. Lift your chin. Open your eyes. Let's lie down onto your back, please. Okay, get long out through your arms and your leg. Okay, just get that bones elongate away from one another. And rock the hips side to side. It feels really good. Then you stop right here and you circle your ankle toward one another. Change the direction of your ankle. And now you can kind of move your arms. I start to feel like I don't want to bring my hands over my head anymore. So I glide them away from the head at the shoulder height. You can do whatever that feels right to your body. And from here, you bend your knees, feet on the floor. I forget to speak about the width of where your feet should land it. Of course, it starts from hip distance apart or wider. That is going to be a better place to be. Like narrower is not a good thing to go for, of course. And you drop your knees side to side to do windshield wiper. We want our leg bone to stack on top of one another, right underneath our hip joints. And our hip joint is not narrow, it's hip distance apart. And if you're tight, of course you can open your legs a little wider. And the key important thing is you want to keep your feet parallel to one another. We will practice more of that later on. Now, you bring your arms and your legs up toward the ceiling, shake them. And you stop shaking it. So let's keep your arms and your legs up toward the ceiling and see, can you implement the action of what I just taught you, is to spread your toes, right? And press the big toes and little toes away from you, like you want to touching something with those two toes. And you do the same thing with your fingers. But for the fingers, we press all 5 fingertips away from us. And you feel like your palm is crawling. And our feet actually, since it have arch, this is going to actually make the arch more emphasize, which is good. And it's already kind of look like it's crawling. Okay. And you make your feet parallel, make your wrist crease parallel. Parallel. Here we go. Check it again. I feel like parallel to what, of course. I don't know how to measure the ceiling like that. Anyway, Supta Baddha Konasana, feet together, knees apart. Drop your knees side to side. We get into the hips openings a little bit. And you can elongate your arms over your heads again. I feel like I would love to do that. Or you can just bring your arms out or a little bit more closer to the hip. Carefully bring your knees up and together. Then draw them together toward your chest. Opening your knees apart, inhale. Let them meet and bring them back, and you repeat. Even right here, you can spread your toes. I do it for so many years. My body do it as a second nature. If you are not doing that before in your life, like you have to, of course, being mindful of bringing the action into that part of the body. So you practice mindfulness. Change the direction, please. Did I say that already? And we go into the happy baby. Knees bend, open your legs apart, and you can spread your toes right here. You can see them. You hold the outside edge of your feet with your fingers, and you kick into your fingers slightly while you're spreading your toes. The position, the placement of the feet are not so crucial here because we are not bringing any force into that part of the body, right? It doesn't carry weight right now. So we don't need to concern so much about that. And carefully let go. Right ankle, place it above your left knee, extend your left leg straight, and you bend after that, bend and stretch your left leg like that. And you can spread your toes here, okay? And land your palms and your arms wherever. When you engage your toes, I told you before, your muscles, some of the muscles in your legs are engaged, and when that engagement happens, first, it's protect the joint. Second, we can stretch those muscles safely. Switch side, please. And then we switch back again, right ankle above the left knee. Now we are going to go deep into this hip stretch. And you are going to get that left leg as close as you need in order to feel that intensity of the hip rotation, the piriformis muscles. You engage your legs muscle by spreading your toes. And when that muscles engage, you actually can challenge the muscle a little bit more. Taya is coming down, so I lost my thoughts for a second. And you can be sure that you actually is protected. Switch side, please. Yeah. Let you spread your toes, hold your right leg or not. Now you have to go into the level of your body today, okay? And when you decide to put more force, which means draw your right leg closer to your chest into the hip rotator, spreading your toes, keep the muscle engaged, and you add the force into it, you will stretch that muscle effectively and also protect the muscle themselves from getting hurt. And let go, hug both of your knees to your chest, rock side to side. Maybe do bicycle for 12 times, please. So your core exercise is here. Hand behind the back of the head, opposite elbow to the opposite knee. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And bring both knees down to the chest. You bring your chest down to the floor. Drop both knees to the right. Ground your left shoulder down to the ground. Relax your jaw. Soften your rib to the floor. Each exhale. Come back up center. Drop your knee to the other side. Exhale, soften your rib to the floor. We feel a little twisting sensation in the back with the help of the gravity. And carefully you turn toward your knee. Get yourself off the floor. Facing forward with your legs wide apart. Upavista Konasana. You can check your leg first. Still warming up right here. And when you're ready to move, we are going to get the body in the circle. But one thing that I want you to do before you do that is to spreading your toes. Okay? And here we go. Chain to the other side. I feel like this thing poking me a little bit too much. And we go to the side stretch here. So go right arms overhead, exhale. Remember your hand can hold behind the back of your head. Inhale, up center. Keep spreading your toes. Change. Come on. Switch. Inhale, up. Exhale, extend your body sideways. Last one. Inhale, come back up center. Baddha Konasana, feet together. Open your knees apart. Hand back behind you. And you drop your knees side to side like that. Right here, you can also spreading your toes. Spread your toes. And carefully, you kind of get yourself away from the pose safely. Extend your legs in front of you. Once again, shake, 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 shake your leg. And then you ground your leg down. So the back of your leg should be on the floor, like the front of your leg facing forward. And you press your toes and press your big toe and your little toes away from you. And then inhale, extend your spine upward. And exhale, we go forward. Inhale, come away from that. And then we go backward as far as you can and keep spreading your toes. Okay. Remember, I don't want you to overdo it and underdo it. You have to find that balance or learn to create that balance for your body. And once again, each pose, the actions, the strength of the action will change. Last one. And then go back. Inhale, come up and away from the floor. Keep your right leg straight. Cross your left leg over. Grab your left foot to the floor. Even right here, your left foot, I want you to take a look at it. If you can have your big toe and your little toe grounded, and the rest of the toes, it's just going to spread by itself. Can you see that? That is the engagement of your feet, okay? And then we twist to the left. Inhale, lengthen your spine upward. Exhale, twist. Once again, if that action come and goes, it's okay. If you don't feel like it makes sense right now, of course it's okay as well. However, keep on trying. We don't get a chance to do the palm yet. It will at some point, of course. Last breath. And inhale, untwist, and you change the other side, right? And when your right foot go down, you can see them. This is a good time to really feel it. Press the big toe and your little toes into the floor and have the rest of the toes come off the floor, and you spread your toes away from one another. Really confusing. And inhale, lengthening your spine, and then you add the twist, and you make it even more complicated because you do so many things at the same time. So you're going to try to be even more aware and focused to your practice. Inhale, facing forward. Let's get the legs onto one side. Come up onto your hands and knees. Pedal the knee if you need to. This is a time that the distance of your legs and your arms, it will depend on how tight you are, and you start from shoulder width or hip width apart and go wider if you need to. Right here, you are going to see your palms now, and you can practice that, spreading your fingers apart. Right. Crawl the floor with your finger pads and keep grounding 4 corners of your palm to the ground. Let's move cat-cow, please. Inhale, arch your back, cow pose. Exhale, round your back, cat pose, heads down, tailbone down. And keep moving. I keep you here because I want you to emphasize the action of your palms right now. It's carry weight, so you have to really engage that palm. Three more. And keep checking, because it's really easy to lift the base of your index fingers off the floor for some of you. When you're done, 3 last times, and then now you make a spinal wave. And you check your hands again, and you can keep on adjusting. Remember that spreading of the fingers, don't overdo it. The crawl of your finger pads and 4 corners of your palms to the ground, especially the base of your index finger. Change the direction. And you stop in the center. Now we shift to thread the needle. Right hand thread underneath the left hand and the left knee. Remember, stack the hip over the knee or sit down onto the heel. Your choice. Left hand, left palm, your choice. Make sure you be safe. Protect yourself. You can go as fancy, wherever fancy places you want to be playful, to be creative. I support that. But you have to make sure that your shoulders are safe, okay? Don't go there. Don't go there and hurt yourself. Nope. Is it my phone? Sorry, let me take a look at my phone quickly. It's moving. I cannot check any message right at this moment. Or should I check it? Other sides, please. Speaker is good. Let's see if anything go wrong. I will find out by the end of the class, and we'll figure it out how to solve the problem. And carefully come up and away from the floor. Next pose is your downward facing dog. This is a complicated pose. Check your palms. Check the position of where you landed. You can always adjust it. This is one of the poses that the action of your palms are really important. Like keep your finger pads crawl to the floor. Tuck your toes under. See the width of your arms. Feel it. Hips up. Knees bend at first. Lift your armpits up and away from the floor and let it move them toward your ears and feel they come toward one another. And exhale, push your chest back. Back, away from your palms toward your feet. Inhale, lift your armpits up and away from the floor. Feel it draw toward one another and exhale, push your chest toward your feet. You can slowly pedal your knee or bring one heel down. Like switch and bring the other heels down. Now can you spread your toes? There's a lot of work, I know. When you learn this action, it's feel more intense just because I don't get a chance to warm you up properly. That's one. And come down to your knees. I think your wrist might be a little sore right now. Let's sit down to your heels and walk your hand to the left. Open your hands as wide as you need. Remember, shoulder width or wider. High on your fingertips and then exhale, push the floor away from you. Inhale, breathe to your back. Exhale, push the floor away from you. Stretch along the right side of your body. Last breath. Other side, please. Walk your hands back center. Come up onto your hands and knees. Step your right leg forward. Get your left knee off the floor and pivot to the left. Do a little bit more of the warming up here. Feet parallel toward one another. And right here, even though your legs are apart and your feet on the floor, right? Action of the feet are necessary before you do your trunk. Press that big toes, a little toe down to the floor and lift the rest of your toes off the floor. Shins in, thighs out, spine elongated, and here we go. And you're gonna feel that your legs feel so much stronger, firmer, and more work on your legs. The more work you can bring it to your core, down your thighs and your chins and your feet, the rest of the work will go out from your neck and your shoulder, and you're not gonna grip that part of the body as much. We want to get the feet and the leg carry the weight when we're standing up, because that's how our body decides to do. And you need to really engage the muscles. Carefully stop swinging. Bend your knees. Turn toward the front of your mat. Get the back knees off the floor and pat the back knee of the blanket if you need to. And your right foot, heel toe to the right slightly. Diagonal the foot to the right also slightly. And start to roll your foot open and land the little toe side of your foot to the floor. And you have to find that space safely for yourself. You're going to move the weight forward just a little bit. So the bend of the right knee, it feels right. It's like you need to find that feeling. It feels right. And spreading the toes of your right leg is really important, because we are target the stretching of that leg right now. Now, open your arms as wide as you need. Find the height that works for your body. Right. Before you stretch, move your hips back, move your chest forward, and exhale while your body go down. Your right knee keep opening to the right. Firm legs, less tension on your arms. Relax your neck, relax your jaw. It's not an easy pose, but it's really effective to stretch the lateral sides of your hip. If you feel, check your necks really frequently. If you feel the tension and you can hang your head low, you can shake your head every time when that action appearing in every pose. Whoa. Inhale, you move up and away from the stretch, right? We get away from the stretch so we can move the body part safely. And after you move away from that, we're going to shift this front leg into our runner stretch. So your hips square. Heel toe your right foot in slightly if you need to. And once again, you have to make sure that your right leg is aligned with the hip. Okay. Heels down, toes up, and you press your right big toes and your little toes away from you, just enough. And you square the hip, you engage your core, elongate your spine upward, and exhale, you go downward. And what next? You move like a jellyfish. Like when you hammer the nail, you have to move away from the nail first when you inhale. And when you exhale, you hammer the muscles with your trunk. And you're going to feel like it go deeper. You adjust the height accordingly. The higher you off the ground, the more you have to be mindful with your stability. Okay? Inhale, come up and away from the floor. Let's get into a strong pose, high lunge. So get your right foot in until you can ground the foot to the floor. Our weight transitioning to the front foot. So what do you need to do? Spread your toes. Get the big toe, little toe down to the floor. Ankle parallel to the front edge of the mat. Right. Get the back knees off the ground. Come upright with your trunk. Hug the thighs in. Exhale, work both legs. Lunge. Kick the back heels back. Inhale, tailbone down, spine up. Don't forget the neck. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Heart open. Couple more breaths here. Last one. Exhale, go down to the floor. Back knee to the floor. Left hand to the floor. Kick your right leg back behind you. Turn your body toward the right side of your house. And right arm extend up to the sky, or you can go over the head and then push your weight back toward your right foot, even more so. Now the bottom hand, if your palms is flat to the floor, the action of your palms, you need to bring it in. And exhale carefully. We are going to facing forward and downward. I would love to add one more pose in here. We get the right leg forward once again. To the right, foot to the floor. Our lizard pose. Hip, body diagonal to the left, hips back, chest forward, and we go down. Remember your right knee to stay over the ankle. Your right foot, you actually engage your toes, engage your toe. I either go between spreading your toes and engage your toes. And you really can almost like intensify the stretch a little bit because you know it's protected and safe. And you need to build that feeling first, like, I can feel that I engage the muscles and they kind of bundle up and protect one another. So I can put the force into the stretch a little bit more mindfully. Like get the best out of your butt. Did I say it right? Better check that first. And inhale, come up and away from the floor. Let's get that right leg back. Have your knees meet, hand to the floor. I change my palm to the fist now because I like it this way and drop the hip side to side. This is not the only way that you are, have your palm to the floor. You can flat the hands again and spread your fingers. And when that action comes, you have the weight on it. You have to really engage the muscles around your wrist, your forearms by spreading your fingers and crawl the floor with your finger pads and press four corners of your palms to the floor. Child's pose, please. Inhale, breathe. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, breathe. Exhale, let it go. Here we go. Inhale, we go up from the heel, go forward to cow pose. Tuck the toes under, exhale, knees come off the floor. We go back to downward facing dog. Spread your fingers, spread your toes. We round the back up to the sky, move forward from the heel to your wrist. Plank pose. Go as far as you can feel comfortable and exhale. Hip high and you go back toward your heels. Downward facing dog once again. Lift the hips up, 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 way forward toward your wrist. Go as far as you feel comfortable with the wrist. Really work that crawl on your finger pads. And exhale, go up with your back and to the hips and down the leg into your heels. Two more. Exhale, go back. I can feel the action of my palms is getting stronger the more weight is going forward toward my wrist. And you should you should do that and balance the force that is come toward your wrist with the action of your wrist itself. Take child's pose, please. Makes sense? Relax your jaw. Let it go. This class will feel really intense. I just want to say that right now because of those lectures, and you are trying to implement that into the body. And inhale, move up and away from the floor. Let's hit our second side. Left leg forward. Walk your left foot to the left slightly. Diagonal the foot. And roll on the little toe side edge of the left foot. Find the place for your hands that you feel comfortable for the hips and the legs, right? And adjust the width between the front foot and the back knee. And bend your knees a little bit more because normally you kind of move backwards slightly. Make sure your knee feels safe. Spread your left toes. When you're ready to stretch, hips back, heart forward, exhale. Chest go down, left knee, keep on moving as well. So it's going to keep on opening slightly. Know that you're not leaning into one side or the other, even though you can play around with it, but you're not leaning toward your left leg, okay? You go into the center. One more breath. Inhale, move up and away from the floor. Our runner stretches here. So move away from it, then you can walk. Your left foot in front of the hip, heels down, toes up. Spread your toe. Press that big toes and little toes away from you. Square the hip toward the front edge of the mat. Elongate the spine and stretch. Wherever you are in the stretch, know that it's okay. I'm going to try to be tight. I didn't act like that once today, am I? For us who are tight and we stay really away from the floor, I said that, I'm going to say it again. Our stability is less than when we have, of course, our arm to the floor because we go closer. So you need to realize on the core a lot. A lot more, which is actually good. So don't really place all the weight into your arms. And carefully, you move away from the stretch so you can move the bone and the muscle safely. And grab the weight onto the soles of your left leg. Move your weight forward and spread your left toes. Left foot point straight forward. The ankle crease, wrist crease, ankle crease should parallel to the front edge of the mat. I know it's not easy to understand that, but you try. Get the back knees off the floor. Hug your thighs toward the midline of the body. Come up with your torso. Square the hip forward. Make sure your front foot points straight. And exhale, work both legs at the same time. Front knees bend, back heel kick away from you. And inhale, spine lift up. Don't forget the neck, heart open. Exhale, legs. Inhale, spine. Exhale, legs. Inhale, spine. Opening, opening, opening the heart. Exhale. Core in, opening the heart. 2 more breaths. Your arms are yours. Exhale, we go toward the floor. Right knee down, right hand to the floor. You can use your palm facing forward or make the fist and your fingers actually facing the same direction with your chest. And you turn your body to the left end. Make your left side nice and long. You can hold the back of the head. Whoa. Exhale. We're facing downward and forward and step your left leg forward into the lizard pose. Yeah. Diagonal the foot slightly so your knees go to the same direction with your toes. Over the ankle. Body diagonal to the right. Hips back. Chest forward and exhale, stretch. If your body cannot go so low because the muscles, the tension of the muscles stopping you is fine. Right? But with the engagement of that toes and the legs, you challenging the muscles wisely. Try to get the best out from it, but not violent yourself. It's a different energy. The respect energy and the violent energy is totally different. Child's pose, please. Inhale, come up onto your hands and knee. Get your right leg off the floor. Get your left hands off the floor. Core in. Exhale. Inhale, elbow and the knee meet beneath the belly. Exhale, extend it. 2 more. Get your left hand down. Step your right leg forward. We are twisting. Right hand onto the hip. Broaden your foundation as you need. Spread your right toes, left palm to the floor or the fist or the block underneath it, and you are twisting to the right. Hip go back, chest go forward. Belly try to go to the floor. Heart is go up to the sky. Don't forget the neck. Make it a part of your spine. Opening the heart. And when you're ready, that right arm you can turn up toward the sky, extend it away from your shoulder, right? And you circle, keep opening the heart, and stop wherever that feels right, it feels safe, it feels empowering. And then exhale, we go toward the floor with the chest. Tuck your back toes under, get your back knees off the floor. Pivot to the left feet parallel toward one another. Shins in thighs apart, and now we are going to Pasarita Padottanasana. So we stretch right here. Spine elongate forward and downward. Go as low and as under as you can go, wherever your body is, or go as high and as away from the hip, right? And as to the floor. No tension in your jaw. Carefully bend the knee, turn toward the front of the mat. Shift your weight toward your right foot. Lift your left leg off the floor, opening the hip up toward the sky. See, can your chest go to the floor? And lift your left leg as high as you can toward the ceiling. Standing split. Cannot go to the floor. Stay on the block and elongate your chest away from that right leg. Lift your left leg as high as you can. And next exhalation, facing the hip to the floor, and your left leg is going to go down and come down, and you cross your left leg behind your right leg. Cross leg Uttanasana. Yeah. Bend your knees a lot at first for us who are tight, and give the blocks a lot of height to, mimic the height that you need for the legs. Spine nice and long, and go once again downward toward the floor. Child's pose, please. I'm going to check the screen again. Wow. Inhale, move up and away from the floor. Next is our left leg. Lift. Right arm extended forward and off the floor. Core lift up and away from the floor. Exhale, elbow and the knee meet beneath your belly. Inhale, extend it. 2 more. And then get your right hand down, step your left leg forward to the left, diagonal the foot, spread the toes, left hand to the hip. Anchor your right palm to the floor, hips go back, chest go forward, inhale. Exhale, twist. Please know that you can adjust your foundation, your body part accordingly to how your body is shifted. You move mindfully, you move slowly, and you move safely. Heart is go up to the sky, belly resisting that, and you feel your butt is elongate backward, and you feel long through your spine. Last piece is to add the arms, or don't have to add the arms at all. And exhale, you go back toward the floor. You tuck your right toes under, get your right knees off the floor, pivot to the right, turn your heels in and your toes out, extend your knees away from one another, climb up your thighs, and we go up to our goddess pose. Exhale, extend the knees away from you and sink your trunk deeper in between those legs. Inhale, you can move away from that stretch a little bit, and exhale, go back into it. That is our jellyfish movement. Okay. And you can do cactus arm, palm facing forward, and you spread your fingers. You actually can land your hands anywhere. That's for what? To keep your heart open, and open your pec major. This is really intense right here. Wow. Want to get the best out from my stretch. And inhale, move away from the joint like ankle, knees, hip. And when you feel safe, turn your feet parallel, facing forward, with your left foot should be in the front. Yeah. Point your left foot straight forward, shift the weight toward the foot, lift your right leg up and opening the hip to the right. Okay. Get your spine to elongate away from your left foot and downward the best you can while you lift your right leg high, high, high to the sky. And exhale, square the hip toward the floor. And when your legs come down, cross your right leg behind your left leg and stretch. Carefully bend your knee. Get your legs back. We are going to sit down and extend the legs in front of us. Okay. Shake the legs, shake the arm. Let's do Dandasana. It's seated heart opening pose in my opinion. So you extend your leg in front of you, spread your toe. Yeah. Hand turn out slightly. You can do flat palms and crawl the floor with your finger pads. Sometimes come behind your fingertip. It feels much lifted in the heart. It's a preference. We go heart lift and open. Wings go toward one another in your shoulder blades. The ribs is in. Core is into the back. Heart is moving forward. Neck is nice and long. Yeah. And slowly relax. Right leg straight, left knee to the chest. We are going to kick the left leg up toward the sky. Kraushaasana. Some of you may need the strap for this. It's your hamstring, but you go against the gravity, it's going to feel so much harder. Right. Make your left leg straight while your spine is also elongated up toward the sky. Okay. So your job is to get that left leg as high up toward the ceiling as you can, and you have to be mindful with the back of that left knee. Like don't overextend it, that joint. And you spread your toes. This is good because if you have the strap at the ball of the foot, when you press your big toe and your little toes into it, you can feel like you're pressing against something. And just stretch the hamstring. If you want to lift the leg up first, the easy way to get the leg up easier is to bend that left knee first, and you just lift it. And when you have the height and then you kick, and you're gonna feel like, oh my God, I lift my leg too high. Spine nice and long. Breathe. And get your shoulder blades back, heart open. Bend the knee, cross your left leg over your right leg. And you are going to get your left foot to come really close to your right hip, if it's possible. If this doesn't feel good to your left knee and your left ankle, extend both legs in front of you, and you are going to do the rest the same, is to go forward and downward toward that leg, okay? You either do it with both legs on the floor or your left leg over your right leg. Your knee, they go toward, they stack on top of one another. So your left knee is not go away from your right knee, is go toward your right knee. And here we go forward and we go down. Inhale, come up and away from the floor. Switch leg, please. Left leg extended. Spread your toes. Your left leg is as important as your right leg, so you still have to engage your legs muscles because this is the foundation. It's carrying weight. Your right leg is going up. Remember, you can get the leg straight and kick it. Lifting with your right leg straight is harder, and the chances to hurt the back of the knee is easier. It's safer to bend the knee and kick the leg high, but when you kick the leg, you're gonna feel that your hamstrings are challenging you, so you have to almost like know where the height is for your body when you're stretching the hamstrings, okay? For me, even though if your right knee is bent, but you add the kicking and you can feel that your hamstring is kind of working toward into the stretch sensation, I like that. Actually, I like that your body kind of fight and working on that. Once again, it's my preference. It's not yours, and it's okay, and you just do what it feels right to your body, okay? However, make sure that you are not rounding your back, rounding your shoulders. You lift the heart up, you draw your shoulder blades back. You relax your jaw. And then you exhale, you bend your right knee really deep, cross your right leg over, or extend both legs straight, and you bow forward. This cross leg over the left leg, one leg Kraushaasana, it makes the hamstring stretch feel like intensify because of its more weight on top of it. So you get a really good hamstring stretch, really just you feel relaxed and lighter very quickly. Inhale, move up and away from the floor, and we are going to lie down onto the back, please. Bring your knee to your chest. Drop your knee side to side. Make sure that you don't have prop interfere the space that you need to move freely. Bridge pose. Feet hip distance apart on the floor, parallel to one another. Spreading your toes. Press your feet down. Press your shoulder blades down. Lift the chin slightly. Press your head down to the floor. Get your hips off from the floor and extend your knees away from you. And you get your shoulders under as you can, underneath the chest. Okay. The more your pec major is open, the more your arms can come closer and meet one another beneath your back. But if the bogey is tight, you better have your arms wide and really just make your wing go underneath your chest. You're going to go deep better that way if you have a bulgur muscles. Extend your knees backward, not outward, okay? Make sure that your chin is moved away from the chest just enough, and slowly bring your hips back down to the floor. We don't want to have our chin tucking into the chest ever. We don't want to flatten the cervical spine. Drop both of your knees side to side, windshield wiper. Let them go to the right and place your right ankle or not to aim your left knee further away from your hips. Okay, you can use your right foot to help. You don't have to. You can just like aim your right knees away by lifting the hips off from the floor, and you feel your back is really arching, and really feel the big toe side edge of your left foot pressing to the floor, and spread your toes. When you have your leg where you want it to be, what left is just use your breath to soften your trunk, especially the back, okay, to the floor. Each exhale, you move your back softly to the floor. One more breath. Switch sides, please. If you're really tight on the lateral sides of your leg, this one we target the right. The arching sensation of your back, it will feel really big. So you should feel like you on the floor, but you're arching your back sideways to the left. And you try to unarch your back by softening that muscles, like the back side to the floor. And you will not going to be able to get that back to the floor completely. Your bone will not allow you to go there. And we don't want to go there to really break ourselves. But we soften the trunk downward to intensify the stretch on the lateral side of the right legs right now. And you can massage your face if you want to, which I'm doing it right now because like I know that my body wants me to do it. It's a strange thing, but when you feel the signals of the body, and you know what, it's calling for you, and you just do that. You know, it's self-healing. It's the best healing ever. You just do it to yourself. Whatever you can first. Just carefully come up and away from the floor. Maybe windshield wiper yourself slowly, your legs yourself, while massaging your neck. And we go grab a block, place it underneath the sacrum. Adjust where the block should be. Get your leg up toward the sky. When you lie down, let the gravity work with the muscles of your body. And you close your eyes and you let go. You can land your hands wherever you want it. Just know that you are supported when you pick that place. You feel safe. You can growl deeper. And you can breathe fully. Shavasana.